Welcome back. I'm your host, Darnell Jackson. And in this crypto report, we're going to be talking about Saylor and refinancing MicroStrategy with Bitcoin. Before you get to this video, make sure you check out my last report talking about what Saylor was doing in the video titled Why Saylor Talks Crazy About Bitcoin. Make sure you check out this video. I'm going to give you some perspective on the points I'll be making in this video, but you need some history on this topic. Okay, let's jump over to the agenda. We're talking about why Saylor is refinancing his company, MicroStrategy, using Bitcoin. So let's jump over to the story. This news came out earlier today, reported here on Decrypt, and it reads, MicroStrategy may sell 1 billion more in stock just to buy Bitcoin. So here's a company that's using its balance sheet, its financial value, to borrow money so that it can buy more of an asset that it feels is more valuable than itself. This is a cloud company, it's a software company, and this is making big news right now. This is reported here in an article by Jeff Benson for Decrypt. And he's talking about how the cloud software company today filed paperwork with the SEC for a proposed sale of Class A common stock via an open market sale agreement. This type of open-ended agreement allows the firm to sell stock from time to time depending on its needs. All right, so they got some flexibility here. And here is the tweet from Saylor. Let's jump over to Twitter and take a look at that tweet. And let's take a look at some reactions to the tweet from Saylor at Michael_Saylor for you home gamers. His announcement goes, MicroStrategy launches at the market Securities offering for flexibility to sell up to 1 billion of its Class A common stock over time. And this is for the ticker symbol MSTR, MicroStrategies. And let's take a look at the reactions from this announcement. Everybody's favorite crypto bear, Peter Schiff, had to weigh in. And he says, "You are truly insane. If Bitcoin really will be as successful as you claim, MicroStrategy already holds more than enough to make all your shareholders rich. Your actions don't match your words. These are acts of desperation to keep Bitcoin from crashing by buying as much as you can." So Peter Schiff, his perspective is that he's basically creating a context as if Saylor is the main buyer in the Bitcoin market, and that his purchases alone are going to be enough to support the market. We'll need to do some more follow-up on that claim. I will do a follow-up on some of the math behind the price that you see with Bitcoin. In this video, we're going to do a little bit of a brief overview of how those numbers work, and we'll be able to determine how close to reality this comment by Peter Schiff is. And so here's my response to this. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. And my response is that Bitcoin search volume is double what it was in June of 2020, but it's still down 50% from highs. When search volume reaches another peak, Bitcoin price likely will have doubled or more. So this was my analysis of this move by Michael Saylor. This came from me looking at Google Trends. Let's jump over there real quick. And Google Trends, all I did was use the search term Bitcoin. So the more popular people are searching for a particular search term, you can expect that, especially if it's a financial item, that if they're searching for it, they're likely interested in buying it. If you look at these spikes, you'll find that the market also was much higher during these spikes. Okay, the last time the market was really hot was the last time Bitcoin was really hot. So here in April, I think, was the last peak. You can see here, April was the last time. That's when Bitcoin was up in over 60,000. So since then, it's crashed down, and it's at about the 50% range in this chart, which puts it double where it was last year, where it was only in the 25% range. Actually below the 25% range last June. So my take on this is Michael Saylor actually could be on to something in the event that he can hold on to make it to Bitcoin hitting its next peak. When the interest in Bitcoin from the public reappears and manifests itself in Google searches for the term, then you should see a big jump in price. Let me change the time period to the last 90 days, and you can see the same thing. In May, there was the spike, and I want to cross-reference the prices so you can get an idea. Okay, so the spike was in May 20th of 2021. May 20th was the spike in interest over time. So let's jump over to the chart and see where we were on May 20th. Okay, so I hold zero. All right, so here's a little Bitcoin. I have a this is my small wallet. I just have small dollars in here. And you can see, if we go back, so the peak of Bitcoin was April 14th. This is when you see that high search volume. And if we go to 1 month, you can see the last peak was right around May 16th. Now, that was the peak in interest, but the price was only about 50,000. So actually, this doesn't give you the all-time high for Bitcoin, even though it gives you a peak in the search interest. So May 2021 gave you a peak in the search interest, but it did not generate an all-time high in Bitcoin. So this actually is not going to be helpful for Michael Saylor's strategy, because getting up to 49,000 is really not going to get the return on investment that I know he was after when they're borrowing all this money to buy all this Bitcoin. If the value can get up to where it was, then he would have made a very smart move. But if not, it appears this may be a mistake. So let's jump back to the agenda. One thing I want you to consider with this news is that you can calculate how far we are away from another all-time high in Bitcoin. When you take a look again at Bitcoin, which I hold zero, you will see a couple facts. Right now, Bitcoin has a market cap of 756 billion. When it was at its all-time high, it was over 1 trillion. We know that was big news. The idea that one coin had collected all of this value. Well, in order for Bitcoin to get back to where it was, we need another, let's just say $250 billion to come back into this cryptocurrency. The question that everyone has is, where is that money going to come from? Where is all that money going to come from if you can't even get people to search the topic? This is the analysis you're not going to find anywhere else. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. The most awesome, the most amazing. Big up to the latest subscriber. Shout out to you. Make sure you subscribe, share the channel so you can support the channel so we can spread our message. We're looking at everything from, just from an analysis standpoint. And what I would say, in my opinion, is that all of this adds up really, in my view, to make a sideways market. I'm not seeing where another 250 billion comes from. I think we will see some spikes with Texas legalizing Bitcoin for its banks and with El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin. However, the crosswinds that are coming in with regulation could be a bigger problem. If you look back at the price, Bitcoin was at 40,000 in January, and now it's close to that same point here in June. It never stayed at that 40,000 point. It crashed down to 30 and change before making a big run. The question now is, will it crash from here at 40? And how low will it go? Many people are projecting that it will crash to below 30,000 and then begin a bull run, as you see here. So it was at about 40, crashed down to 33, and then went on this bull run. This is, in summary, what many are predicting right now, that Bitcoin has already crashed down to 30. It made it back to 40. They're projecting another big crash below the 20s, and then they're projecting a recovery that will head ultimately to an all-time high. Now, this process could take a few months. Post in the comments what your take would be. You can follow me on Twitter at FreedomMMC. Until the next time, share this video like fires on your hair. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you tomorrow for the next crypto report. Peace.